I mean, it's nice. It's just plugged right into the apex. You know, the energy bar 832. Sorry, and what I had to do, because you see where I moved my energy bar 832 to is all the way over here, so. You see somewhere here, so? Way away from my tank. Yeah? And so all I did was just cut the male-female extension, one link extension, and plug that in. So it's 20 feet of cable. Good, that's where I left. It's 20 feet of cable away. The storage run out on this phone. So I'm going to continue from there. Because what I didn't want to forget, and it almost come out of my head and I forgot to jump back to it. Let me see, I make sure I'm covering as much of the notes that I have, because I'm not talking about a lot of different things at the same time. Oh, I spoke to why 1 hour is good enough for me here. So 1 hour setting my UPS for is because the vast majority, and these are numbers I'll have to confirm again, but up to my last check, and this was really from asking somebody who worked in the industry, I would say it was less, no, how it go again? Okay, the length of power cuts that you would experience in your area. If there's a power cut, what is the average length of time of that power cut? And for my area of Calgary, 90% of the power cuts are less than, and 90% I hear is being conservative, 90% of the power cuts are less than half an hour on average. So by having my UPS initially programmed, not tweaked and fine-tuned, but just right now, if I just had to, oh my God, press this button on my phone and turn on the emergency because I'm out of it, I know that the tank system is also protected against the vast majority of power failures, and it is giving the tank all the equipment, the cleanest power, sine wave power. So that's what's built into this, why it is so low maintenance. So this is really about a low maintenance marine tank. I know BRS guys did their episode on ultra low maintenance, for a reef tank. This is what I call ultra low maintenance for a marine tank. I don't think it gets any easier than how I'm going to be showing you through biological water exchange and how I set it up to do that. So yeah, I'm going to get the Senai because I want to be able to publish that data, and I also want to, because this is uncharted territory, I know the science, I've tested it, I've been running this tank for a while, I know that tank operates. I feel confident that I can do it, and if I'm going off, I am confident I can correct it and correct it fast. So that's why I'm going to use a Senai. The Senai will give me a heads-up display because I'm watching two key parameters. The two key parameters I'm watching in this type of system is ammonia and temperature. Those are the two life-threatening things of any tank. So if I keep a close eye on those two things and set it where if something is off, I will get an alert that I will see within 24 hours, because if I can catch something happening within 24 hours that is not normally visible to the naked eye, I have a chance of fixing it, and I have systems and everything on hand to do so. I also have 2 years worth of food, and you might think that's a lot. No, flakes and pellets in a big jar, just like the same one, like this, a 2-liter jar, 4-liter bucket, like this, container of flakes mixed with pellets, and these are high-grade marine flakes and pellets. I'm using, I think, the omega one. I won't bother take it down, but that's what I've been giving them, the omega one pellets and flakes mixed in my feeder. I just continue to pinch it, then I mix it up, as I say, with the frozen, and everything is coated with probiotic powder, and I give probiotics liquid form to the tank. So there's a couple different regimes that make the system work, but it's so flipping easy. And I'm glad that Ganja stopped me and said, don't rush past this phase. Let people see the power of this phase. Let people literally see that you could run a tank, and that's the theory I believe in. If I'm wrong, I'll fix it before I endanger anything in this tank. So today what's going to happen is I'm starting with, this started last week Saturday, but I'm now going to implement how I would manage this tank if I had to manage it for the long term. See, I practiced doing this and I knew what to do for a week because I didn't see myself being in the position, and this I was incapacitated of not getting my tank and filter back up and running within a week. So I know that the tank, how I've been managing so far, will be okay for a week, and it is. I'm going to zoom in with the camera, and I'm probably going to have to delete something on that phone because I want you to see the quality of the tank, and this camera over here is a better one. So I'm going to switch back to that after I say this. But you will see with this style just the quality of the water, the quality of the glass. I'm watching in particular how long it will take me to put any form of magnet to the glass even after clean it. And this is the test and showing the viability of using locally produced materials. So I run in the tank on tap water too. How easy can you get? This is not no RODI system. I'm not burnt, no, we're not wasting nothing. Tap water, and for the purposes of a conditioner, I just use the local one at the store, which is a step one. Peter step one. It does have the conditioner in it and the aloe vera for stress reduction in the fish. So I add this to the tank because predominantly of the aloe vera to reduce any stress that I might not realize that comes with the reduction in the water level changing. Because what I'm doing now and I'm starting with is a 10%, well, equate to a 10% change per week, because I'm doing 1 5-gallon bucket, and I'm going to do daily water changes, which will, so long as you do a daily water change and that bucket finish at the end of the week, the last day of the week, I'm satisfied. You don't have to do it the same amount every day. You look at the tank and you'll know, oh gosh, I put in a little bit too much food. You know what? Today I'm going to scoop out a little bit more and put in a little bit more fresh of the biological water. That's going to be how you manage the tank, right? So I use this. The second thing I use, and I've been using in this tank for over a year now, is a tank buster, right? These are things that I dose. I use the weekly dose, just so you know. I use a weekly dose up to 2 times a day. In the morning, then get like this one is 1 capful per 10 gallons. I'm almost sure. Let's see, yes, is for weekly maintenance. It says 1 capful per 10 gallons. So I will do 5 capfuls in the morning and 5 capfuls in the evening, maximum, when I'm doing a heavy dosing. It's because I did so much changing in the tank, I don't want to take a chance that any bacteria crash, right? Can't take that chance. And I saw some ammonia in the tank, so I'm putting in the bacteria and I'm going to give them now more surface area to colonize. That's why I'm going to put the rest of this in the tank, and it's going to go in loosely, not in a bag, as a part of the substrate. The next thing that goes in, again, is my Reef Fx. Yeah? And I do the same thing. Whatever the weekly dose set on this, I do that a minimum of once a day, sometimes twice. And I go by my vibe and I look on the tank and I say, but a dosing every day. And then finally, we have to have something to break down the fish waste, right? And to fight also against any algae buildup. Because we're not, though the lights are off, the tank is getting sunlight, and yes, I'm controlling the nutrient content going in by manually feeding. I want everything in my favor, right? So I'm always dosing 3 different strains of bacteria, or certainly at least 2. And you're going to see another part of the experiment. This is going to be done for the next 3 months. After this, I'm going to make a switch, and I'm going to go to a different bacteria, because what if the one you've been using all along, you can't get it and you have to change? Well, I'm fortunate to have been blessed with the ability to test a product. I was given 2 things. So this is, well, 3. Fritz products. So this is their water conditioner, which instantly removes toxic ammonia, chloramine, and chlorine and chloramines. See it right there. So I'm glad this is emergency step response 1. Remember I told you that you have to plan out what if something go wrong, and I'm watching ammonia. Ammonia is a critical teller for me in this tank, you know. Because if I start to get a rise in ammonia, that means a couple of things. I don't have enough bacteria to break it down. How come? So one, I have to arrest it. This is an emergency use, but I would do it by water change, dosing with more bacteria. So this is one of the products I have. That's the Fritz line. The other one is their Fritz Zyme. So I'm gonna be testing this because this one, let's see. This is the biological conditioner. This is a concentrated for salt water. So I'm going to try this one in conjunction, because this one will also break up, let me say, removes sludge and organic debris. So this will replace this. Yeah? This will replace this. And then the other one, which is there now, bacteria. This is their bacteria. Live nitrifying bacteria naturally removes ammonia and nitrite. This is another Fritz product. Now that one will replace Tank Buster. I'm not stop use this as long as I can get it, because the probiotics and I love this product. As long as I can get it, I'm going to continue using it. I have it in a powdered form too, so I'll sprinkle it on the flakes and the pellets before I feed the fish. So let's see, where am I now? Okay, so for the apex, you realize that it's only the temperature probe are running in here, and that's because the other probes are going to be deployed, are being deployed in my grow cabinet. That's right. The pH probe is over there. The ORP probe is over there. Even the salinity probe, you're like, what? Oh yes, I'll explain why. So 3 of the probes that come with the apex unit, I really got it for the grow. If you don't remember, I'll tell you right now that the reason I bought the apex wasn't for my tank. I bought the apex unit from a grow, and Ganja arrested me and said, how dare you bring me into a house and let the other animals in the house be jealous of me? And it just woke me the fuck up, and like, how are you caring for all the animals in your life? How are you caring for the things that depend on you? And it gave me a revelation, and from there I had to build back this tank. I had to put as much love. It really showed me where I fell short. And I'm going to make a public statement. And I tell you, right now with all this COVID thing going on, I don't feel sorry for humanity. I am not on humanity's side. Me sorry. It's time Earth gets a chance to breathe. Other animals have suffered so long because of our fuckery. So I am awakening into this, and this is one of the steps for me as Rasta. I'll talk to you a little bit about even how it changed by eating more nutritious, but let me continue on this point. So the only other probe I put in here, honestly, because I'm keeping this ultra low maintenance, I don't want to have nothing you have to calibrate more than probably one time in its lifetime, if ever. That's why the temperature probe in here is the most stable probe that they have. The ORP probe is the only other product I put, other module I put on this is the ORP. Even the dissolved oxygen sensor is not for this tank. It's from my hydroponic grow. That's where the DO sensor is. You see all of those come online. The dose is over there. It's going to do the automatic water changes for the grow. I am going to do it manually for the tank because I need to be hands-on on the tank for the system to work. So salinity is going to be done by the trusty old refractometer. It's more, I'll trust my refractometer testing the salinity daily than I will the probe for the apex constantly. See what I mean? I don't want to have anything in this tank that I have to calibrate more than so. So that's why I put in the Senai, because the Senai comes in slides. I don't to calibrate. It's easy. Just soak it for 2 days, put it in. It does everything for you and gives you consistent, reliable readings. That where the API test kit shake up and looking at the color, depending on the light that was shining at the time, will make it look more yellow than. You know what I mean? It happens. Your lighting that you look at your samples on must be consistent. And if you don't have a lab setup like that, we have a specific light above it. You put the sample consistently underneath it with a white background so you can see it. Your color reading's going to change. So the Senai takes that away. It gives me the pH in a more stable form than the Apex will, because I still have to calibrate that, but I'm willing to do that every grow cycle. Yeah, oh, get a low battery alert. I've 10% remaining. So let me continue and see if I can finish. So this system is now going to be built to be off the grid. It's built off the grid, right? My Apex is off the grid. I have the display here. It is locked up in the grow cabinet, and I can run everything without ever having to access the internet and unlock all the features. That's why the Senai, I'm not getting the web server for it. I'm using it directly with my PC. So I have a PC, so luckily I can just plug it into my PC. But I'll also be plugging it into the adapter, the wall adapter, and just have it log in data, because it records the data every hour, and I believe the internal memory is up to 30 days. So I'm going to just put in the Senai, plug it in, and then I can download it and upload the information to the web server where it will save it. I can look back on the historical information. But more importantly, the ammonia monitoring. If some parameter goes off on the Senai, you will see the red alarm level light go off. I'll see it. So I'm constantly monitoring my ammonia, because if the ammonia goes off, then I know something is happening that I have to fix right away. So I'll be able to watch and even play around with the daily water changes, but I'm going to stick to that, because I know that you have to think about animals. I would love to be, my door is cracked right now. I love the fresh air coming in. Every animal loves that. It brings a newness to them. A newness to them. Only when I can't open my door do I not open it. Like in the middle of winter, when it is minus 30 degrees outside. Open what? Are you mad? No. So it's the same thing with the tank. They need a newness of their oxygen, and their oxygen is the water. So giving them a fresh amount of water every day is going to keep them healthy, going to keep them happy, going to reduce the stress, because you put a little aloe in it and you condition it, and you have that biological water going in just a little bit amount every day, and you use a lot less salt. So today we're going to do a water change. I'm going to tidy up the tank, move around a few things, put in my new plant. I'm going to connect up and finish the hospital tank, and I've already done the next steps planned out. I talked to you about the parameters I'm watching, and I'll just show you this one point, because I wanted to bring it up and show you. So I had a little dilemma, and this is one of those COVID mentality changes. I'm going to pause before the video run out to make it down to 10%. I'm going to plug in this phone. Actually, let me see if I can plug it in before the battery dead, and I can actually just continue filming. So 1 second, let me just get the plug in. Have it here. Let's just sing along, because the light just gone out from there, so I'm going to plug it into another one. Okay, I'm almost back. Okay, see me here, back. I have the plug in. This is just sort of how my videos go, you know. You sort of know my style, either like it or you don't like it. So you can also see me. Yeah, that light I never really need it. I know I'm going to turn it back on. So here I am. I just plug it back in right here. So okay. I know what, that was a glare that I never did like. So okay, that glare gone. So that light wasn't serving the purpose. Oh, glad we start to see it. So now, coming out of the core 15 pump, you have a couple options, right? Now, This charge here comes with a 3/4 inch fitting, and it also has a union where you can carry it up to 1.25 inch. I was tempted to plumb this tank with 1.25 inch pipe. That's the first pipe I bought. I bought the pond, you know, the flex pond, not the kink one, but the flexible black pond piping. This is how I would ideally plumb my larger tank. Y'all know it. Hold on there. I'll keep you talking. I'm going to get it so I can show you, because you know I like doing these things. Okay, I'm back. This. So, this is what I originally bought, and this was going to plumb the tank. For the original design, we was going to be doing the coral spawning. But when I saw what's going on in the world, I said, you know what, Rasta, you need to add value to the industry right now. Bring a style, bring something that you can contribute, that can help people who are in this hobby with your experience. And so this is going to be my contribution to the hobby. It's going to be helping people and training people who want to be, you know, we have our essential care workers that are caring for us as humans. I want to help people who want to volunteer to get into the hobby, to build a simple system, to be there to help reefers who have to let go of some of their stock because they can't care for them anymore. And building a system like this becomes so therapeutic because it's like gardening. If you attend to your aquascape daily, it's going to be so much of a stress relief and bring joy and energy to your life in the simple way. So as I continue, I think I have covered everything. Oh, and so the Pisces video, if you go to the Pisces website, you're going to see one of the videos that I did on the Senai. When I strongly recommend something, is because I've used it, or I have seen and read and studied enough on it that I'm confident about what I'm saying to you. I don't just recommend something because nobody sponsors me. You know that, right? No, this is all I do. This is not done in conjunction where I work. I have no connection with them in terms of my videos or what I come out and what I say. They don't influence it. They don't sponsor me. This is just the Rasta Reefer. But I give credit where credit is due, and I lick out where I have to lick out. But the good part about this, and I always only have good things to say about Pisces. One of the videos that I put up is on the Senai. If you want to know why I chose to use it in the tank for this system, if you can get it, get it. But if you can't get something like the Senai, it's going to be a challenge in my mind for you to do this system confidently, because you're going to rely on the manual method, and only if you set up a lab bench with the proper lighting and you follow religiously a set protocol of how you mix your samples and how you view them, and if you have that, just like I was showing you rudimentary style earlier, then and only then will I say, alright, if you're committing to do that, and you know you will do it, and you know you will do it every day, then fine. Outside of that, don't follow me. Okay? Okay. So next steps is I'm continuing from here. Hospital tank is going to get set up. Plumbing is going to get done. And oh, this is what I was wanted to show you. Plumbing was going to get done. Right now, I'm really trying to practice social distancing to an extreme and play my part in doing so. And this is a good example. Everything that I've needed for my tank, I get from where I work. Now I'm sure there are places I can get stuff from online. I've never bought anything from my tank online. everything that I've needed in terms of these upgrades. I buy at Pisces, every single thing, every single thing. So down to the plumbing. Now, what I was showing you is coming out of the core 15 is 3/4 plumbing. So because I'm using that type of tubing, I got basically this is the type of fitting I'm using. So that would be a slip fitting going into the barbed. So alright, you're not smoking that much ganja that thing's jumping out of your hands, or maybe they are. The slip, why don't I just show you the slip fitting? Let me put the box. Alright, oh, see the box here. I thought I had it inside here, but because I didn't want to lose nothing, I just left some items in the box, including the remote. But can't bother. Go that far, the box will take too much time to open. When you buy a pump, you'll see what I mean. There's a slip fitting that goes right here, so it's 3/4 inch. This fits directly into it, so that glues in because I have the PVC glue that will glue onto that. This can screw off, top piece can screw off to take that fitting off and disconnect the pump. Right, so it's going to be glued onto this, and then this will convert now. This will go, this is 3/4. Right, now here's the problem I had. On the, best I show you here, the discharge, sorry, the intake here, is the connection piece for it is 1 inch. So the 1 inch, the 1 inch slip fitting goes in this one. So this is the 1 inch. That is going to be the intake, right? And this is a 3/4. So you notice right there now, I have a reduction in the line, where most of the line is going to be 1 inch because I'm plumbing straight from into the filter and out. So into the filter from the top of the pump was going to be done with the 3/4 inch line here, which is a short distance. It was 2 feet, and then everything else was going to be the 1 inch pipe, which I showed you before, but I'll just grab it again, which is a 1 inch pipe. So this is predominant plumbing is 1 inch right through, but I have a 3/4 inch restriction, which in the grand scheme of things and the power of that pump, I probably wouldn't have noticed it, but because I know how restriction work, I wanted to limit it. And so in doing so, what I did is, there's no elbows going to be in this. There is not even a ball valve. The only thing where I'm going to cut this line is where I'm putting in the flow meter, because I have to have the flow meter. And that's why I go with the Apex for this, because I am setting a trend and I need to have the data and be able to test and control things. I can tell them what to do. Yeah, because not everybody going to invest in the Apex. But if I can tell you, yo, just get this one and set it to this, and this is why, then it's going to be easier. Better if you have the Apex, right? Or the Apex, it's equivalent or better. So here's the problem I encountered now. I wanted to minimize that restriction. So ideally speaking, I wanted the 3/4 to 1 inch reducer. So on this end, it would be the 3/4 because this is what would go directly into the pump. But I wanted it to go up here to 1 inch. That would be the ideal piece to get, right? But this is all that they had. In fact, this was the last one. I was so grateful that they sold it to me. This was the last one they had, and I didn't want to go to a plumbing store. I don't want to go the way I have to. So I said, okay, guess what? I'll just run it with 3/4. Perfect. At least I can get the system running. But then I thought of this. You ready for it? Because I couldn't find the right one. I said, well, let me carry it back up with another piece. And so what I did find is the 3/4 to 1 inch barb. And this is sort of what it looked like. Yeah? So what I'm going to do, and this is how I reduce the restriction in the flow. And I'll show you. So from 2 feet 24 inches of 3/4 restriction, what I do is I butt these two pieces together just like this, but I join them with the hose. So just like this here. So I'll show you. So I warm the hose up in some warm water and I push it all the way down to the base, right? And if I can hold it with these two hands so you can see, and just sort of like this, back on camera, I get the hose the full length of these two pieces together like that, and then I clamp at the very ends of it. And when it's hard and it hold, believe you me, it's not going to leak. But I didn't even want this extra leak point, and that's why I wanted to go and find the right one. But I'm going to say sometimes it was good to just show you how you make things work when you don't have the right things, because sometimes you don't get the ideal plumbing part, and you might not be able to find the ideal plumbing parts to fix up your tank the way you need to right now. So you have to find things that work, and from it work, and it work just as good, believe you me, there's no way this is going to leak when I'm done with it. So that was what I wanted to show you. This is the last little thing. I have everything now, so I'm going to do the fast forward video so you see me set it up. If the vibes are right, I'll do it now. If the vibes are not, I'll probably do the hospital tank tomorrow. But I'm definitely going to do the water change and start this monitoring regime. The Senai I'm going to buy on Sunday when I go back to work, and I'm going to buy 3 packets of the reagents, because this whole series is going to be for 9 months, and I want to have on hand everything in the house that I need to complete this 9-month series. That means being able to change the slides, because the slides last 30 days. To change up the slides monthly. So I'll have all that in-house. I'll get that on Sunday. I'm going to sort the slides for 2 days. So I expect to bring the Senai online no later than Wednesday as we continue, and you'll see that. So thanks again. I'm going to stop the video here. I will come back again when I'm doing my setup. Blessing.